Hi, my name is Carl Pearson, and the title of this video is Jury Nullification, Citizens' Right to Overrule the Judge. My name, I've said that, Carl Pearson. This is my 95th day of self-imposed quarantine, trying to stay alive in the heart of the pandemic. On Saturday, June 13th, I patronized a local store in Manhattan that reopened under Phase 1 on June 1st, and I'm planning carefully to celebrate Father's Day on Sunday, June 21st, the start of Phase 2 in Manhattan, in New York City, with a family car trip. But enough of this personal stuff. I want you to know about one right which citizens have that can't be taken away except by failure of citizens to know about and use this right. The criminal prosecution system is so difficult and costly for defendants to fight that most of them plead guilty, knowing that they would have only one chance out of about 10 to prevail in a felony criminal trial. The jury could and should do something to help selected defendants overcome these odds, and this would depend upon the evidence and what you as a juror can add with your own experience. Think of the movie 12 Angry Men. The jury might want to ask some questions to see what evidence has been omitted, if the judge allows questions. Once the jury has all the evidence and is deliberating, whoever knows about the doctrine of jury nullification should inform the other jurors about this doctrine. And if there are any doubting Thomases, that is, doubting jurors, you as a juror might ask the judge to instruct the jury on the doctrine of jury nullification. If the judge does so, the jury will learn about its right from the judge. If, however, the judge decides not to do what you ask, then you can take that as the court's way of saying that the jury has the right to nullify the judge's instruction, but the judge believes he or she doesn't have the authority to inform the jury of their right. It is important to understand that the jurors can never be punished for the verdict they return. This is an absolute right that you have. The jury can and should attempt to render justice and set aside draconian rules and practices that are incarcerating far too many persons, especially the poor, who can't afford to pay $50,000 or $100,000 for their defense, which is about 99% of the citizens and residents in this country. All the criminal jury needs to do in the appropriate cases is arrive at a just decision, in spite of the judge's instructions, which too often are difficult to understand and follow. The criminal jury is allowed to come to its own decision, even if the judge's instructions would require a different verdict. Now let's talk about jury nullification in civil cases. Courts are also oppressive to a party without money. The wealthy credit card companies, banks, owners of student loan notes, and major corporations sued by an abused customer have the advantage of many thousands of lawsuits and counsel experienced in the type of claim being made and legal forms that are used inexpensively for them to press a claim against a debtor who has no litigation experience and hires his or her brother-in-law, who does well in settling DUI cases, to defend the civil case, but does so quite poorly. If the case is fortunate enough to get a trial, The trial should normally be by jury, and the jury has the same right of nullification of the judge's instructions. However, there is a difference between nullification between criminal and civil cases. In criminal cases, a jury verdict for the defendant ends the criminal prosecution, and the defendant is no longer a defendant and walks out of the court. But in civil cases, the judge can still overrule a jury's decision with a directed verdict prior to a jury determination, or its post-trial counterpart, setting aside a jury verdict as against the weight of the evidence. But the judge is rarely going to set aside a jury verdict when the issue has been decided by a jury. One notable exception: in cases of equity, the jury's decision is advisory only, and the judge doesn't have to follow it in states where equitable claims and defenses have no right to a jury trial. Well, in summary, jurors can help to make this country better by understanding and using their jury nullification power in both civil and criminal cases, and should do so responsibly. Well, I've said what I wanted to say about this topic, and I'll get back to you soon with my next video.